The Triple Fool by Donne, 1572 to 1631. I am two fools, I know, for loving and for saying so in whining poetry. But where's that wise man? That would not be I, if she would not deny. Then, as thus inward narrow crooked lanes do purge sea water's fretful salt away, I thought if I could draw my pains through rhyme's vexation, I should them allay. Grief brought to numbers cannot be so fierce, for he tames it that fetters it in verse. But when I have done so, some man his art and voice to show doth set and sing my pain, and by delighting many frees again grief which verse did restrain. To love and grief tribute of verse belongs, and not of such as pleases when 'tis read. Both are increased by such songs. For both their triumphs so are published, and I, which was two fools, do so grow three, who are a little wise, the best fools be. Okay, this poem is by Donne. Donne came from London. He went to Hart Hall College in Oxford. He was a poet, a scholar, a soldier, and later on he became a Church of England priest. So what's this poem about? Well, it's titled The Triple Fool, and he's calling himself a fool, 3 times a fool, for 3 different reasons. And the poem is about he is about love unrequited, or the end of a relationship, or not being loved by a woman. And he's written a poem about this in order to allay, to decrease his pain, to decrease how sad he feels about this. Because he feels that writing poems about his feelings and how sad he is that this relationship has not worked. But then the problem is somebody has written a song and started to sing a popular song from the poetry that he's written. And he was starting to feel better and less sad, less upset about this love affair that didn't work. And now he's feeling all of the pain again. And he's really upset that now everybody knows his sadness and what happened. And he's most distressed that he's a fool because he wrote his poetry down. He's a fool for thinking that this could take away his sadness. And he's a fool because somebody has now publicized this again, and the pain has all returned. So let's see. I am two fools, I know, for loving and for saying so in whining poetry. So he starts by saying I'm two fools, but in the end he says I'm 3 fools. And the reason was I'm a fool for falling in love, and I'm a fool for putting this down in whining, in complaining poetry. But where's the wise man? That would not be I, if she would not deny. So I think this phrase is actually saying that love makes fools of us all. Um, it's impossible to be wise if you fall in love. These two things are mutually exclusive. Um, so where's the wise man that I would not be? Okay, so the wise man that I want to be can't exist if she would not deny my advances, if she would not say, no, I don't want to have a relationship with you. And then, as thus inward crooked narrow lanes do purge sea waters fretful salt away. So I've been thinking about this one quite a lot. This is a metaphor, and the salt in water, he's using that to represent his pain and his sadness, and he's using the poetry to purify his sadness, to get rid of it. And I think here he's saying that, so if we look at Earth's inward narrow crooked lanes, I think these are rivers, and see how the water in rivers don't have any of the salt of the sea in them, although they go into the sea, and clearly they must come from the sea. um, the salt has has been taken away. So to purge is to take out, and here fretful, to fret is to worry. So I think also this might be the give an image of these saltwater ponds as well, where you get salt by evaporating the water, and the salt falls out. And this is saying that writing his poetry is a way to get rid of the salt or the pain from the relationship. I thought if I could draw my pains through rhyme's vexation, I should them allay. So I thought that I could heal, that I could make my pain less painful by writing lots of rhymes, lots of poetry, until I was vexed, until I was sick of writing poetry. So if I wrote lots of poems about this, or lots of poetry about this, I could allay, I could decrease my pains. Grief brought to numbers cannot be so fierce, for he tames it that fetters it in verse. So I think here, grief brought to numbers, I think writing it down, making it mathematical, making it poetic, or perhaps as well by writing lots of poetry, lots grief brought to numbers, it cannot be so fierce. So the pain won't be so fierce, because you can tame that pain, you can domesticate it, you can control it by fettering it, by chaining it in verse. So he's written this poetry to make himself feel better, to express his emotions and let them out. And this is his logic. And now he thinks he's a fool, firstly for falling in love, and secondly for writing about it. And then we have the other side of this. But when I have done so, some man his art and voice to show doth set and sing my pain. So after I've written this poetry, somebody has made a song about it. Yeah, somebody who wants to show his skill and to show how well they sing hath set this to music and is singing to everybody. So I think a popular song about my pain. And here clearly various people are singing this song. Yeah, it's been set to music, so you've got musicians and the singer. And by delighting many frees again, which verse did restrain. And this has set off my pain again. Now, instead of just being full of grief, full of sadness about this relationship, and the fact that the poems I've written about it, or the poetry I've written about it, has reduced my pain, I have to go through all of this pain and sadness again, and perhaps even worse, because now everybody is singing about it, everybody hears about it. To love and grief tribute of verse belongs, but not of such as pleases when 'tis read. Both are increased by such songs. So verse belongs to love, to being in love, or to paying tribute to glorifying somebody. Yeah, so poems should only write about love, and or they should write about things like that, but not of such as pleases when 'tis read. Okay, so both are increased by such songs. So a poem about grief as a tribute to grief, it doesn't make you happy when it's read. You feel the pain in the poetry, but both the love and the grief and the feeling of loss have been increased by the songs. For both their triumphs so are published. Okay, so the love and the grief that came after have now been published so that everybody can hear them. And I, which was 2 fools, do so grow 3. So I was 2 fools for falling in love and writing about the sadness when there was no relationship, or when the relationship ended. And now I'm 3 fools, because not only the first 2, but also people are singing about it. It's a popular song. This is something that's being sung about. Who a little wise, the best fools be. So I think here he's saying the best fools, the people who cope best with being a fool, are the people that are happiest. But the people who have a little knowledge, who have wisdom, end up being the biggest fools. So who are a little wise, people who have a little wisdom, are the biggest fools. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. The Triple Fool by Donne.